It's 6 o'clock right now.
Okay. So we're ready
Then we're
to
gonna
start.
go. Okay, we're gonna assume Danny's got us turned on. It's 6 o'clock. We're
We
ready
are
to
live.
call the meeting to order.
Yes.
Can you please do roll call for us, Shelley?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. Tracy Quick,
Here.
Commissioner Mary Lowry,
Here.
Commissioner Debbie Cox,
Present.
Commissioner Art Warren is excused, and Commissioner Justin Acevedo is excused, but we do have a quorum, Madam Chair.
Excellent. Thank you very much. All right, the first order of business is consideration to approve the November 12th, 2025 meeting minutes. Does anyone have any questions, concerns with the minutes? And if not, can I have a motion?
Motion to approve as written.
Second.
I have a motion to approve and a second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Nay. Nay.
Thank you.
Approved. Okay, moving on, we're going to B, public hearing and consideration of a request to apply a planned area development, PAD zoning overlay, to increase the allowed building height from 30 feet, C2 intermediate commercial zone, to a maximum height of 65 feet, and approve the site plan as described in the Culver Valley Regional Medical Center PAD application for plus or minus 22 acres of land located at 5880 South Hospital Drive, APN 206-07-005D, case number Z-25-01. Dana?
Thank you very much, Madam Chair and Commissioners. Appreciate you hearing this item tonight and convening. We're fortunate to have a new medical office development proposal come before the city. And it requires height exceptions, and that's the purpose of this zoning ordinance and public hearing today. So yeah, just to back up a step, again, as you mentioned, as you read in the agenda item, this is a public hearing after, and as we customarily process these types of meetings, initially hear a staff report, staff recommendation, open up to discussion, hear from the applicant, if the applicant's available, wishes to make a presentation, and then open up gavel to open up a public hearing, hear from members of the public, and then gavel to close, and then convene your discussion, discuss making a recommendation or motion. So with that, I have in your staff reports the proposed narrative that kind of explains what's involved with this particular office development project and some other phases, and I'll just quickly take you through. I share screen, get you oriented. There we are. So what you're seeing right now is all the floodplain down in this area. That is one item that we do have identified and explained in our review, that any future development that impacts the AE, which would be the 100-year floodplain, if you will, requires a flood certificate for elevation. The particular property that we're looking at is, or area for new development is located right here, where this building would be demoed and replaced with a 3-story office building. So that's a big issue. And just for your sake of floodplain knowledge, this blue area, I'm in the zoning, the online interactive zoning map that the city has, and it includes floodplain. So this bluer area, the AE area, is actually the floodway, and that's where water actually flows. And there's definitely different regulations that apply to that particular area. So I'll shut that off. Here it is. Back in the 90s, as I explained, late 80s, 90s, was contemplated for this annexation of all of this highway, 60 highway frontage, and then down a portion of Russell Road to get down to Hospital Drive, and then ultimately the hospital. That pink area is all zone C2. Everything shown here just in aerial without color is county jurisdiction. The Culver Valley Medical Center as you're all probably well aware, is here at the terminus of Hospital Drive, and then it fingers off into Bessage Boulevard, which provides access, direct access to the Gila County, I think it's a Public Works Facility Yard. And then, you know, we have Cecil Trucking back here along the wash and various industrial uses. And then across on the west side, that's Miami Gardens, residential, older, historic type residential area. And then also in Miami High School over the ridge that separates this area. So, as I mentioned, this proposal has three components. First, there is a existing helipad on the property, and that's located right here. Just to get you more familiar, you don't really see the cut-in for the roundabout that currently exists here, but this is the bypass road that was utilized for a period. Let me go over here. You can, and you can't see it at all there either. I'll try Google Earth. And in Google Earth, you can generally see that roundabout configuration. Anyway, there would be the helipad, as I mentioned. This is the location of the proposed development of a new office building, three-story office building. As I mentioned, the current building height in C2 is 30 feet. This, I think the existing Cooper Valley, two-story portion of the Cooper Valley Medical Center is probably just a little bit taller than that. Over here, not too sure how those approvals went back when they built it, but in the 80s and 90s. But anyway, C2 that was prior to I think the annexation occurred in like 92 or 93. And then, yeah, we're now seeing this development proposal for building height. The office building ultimately with our articulated elements gets up around 50 feet, just taller than 50 feet. Also, I was brought to my attention that when the hospital was initially designed, it was designed for 4 stories, or portions of it were designed for 4 stories. So they only built 2. They know apparently the structural designs there. Big picture, as it was explained to me by Neil Jensen with Cooper Valley Regional Medical Center, that they anticipate building the new medical office building, probably not finishing the upper level of the 3rd floor for a period, and then moving existing offices from the hospital into that medical office building to provide the space and opportunity to renovate the existing hospital at that time. Now, that's not part of this request, but you're considering the zoning that allows for the height of the site plan that's currently being proposed. But this, again, this is just added information that the hospital explained to me was the big plan. So there will be some transitions and some additional remodel, and then ultimately the request also includes up to a 65-foot height or 4 stories for portions of the existing hospital building. You see that we have a list of conditions. I'll quickly take you through the site plan to explain that. All right, okay, here we go. Oh, it's ready. Come on. There we go. And that's the totality. Now, current county assessor maps still don't show the ultimate recordation and replatting of Hospital Drive. We've widened it. BHP gave us an additional 10 feet from Ragnus Road all the way down to the hospital. So ultimately we could widen that roadway. And then they also cleaned up with that plat, the lot lines right away, define the right of way, and dedicated to the city to really clean up. We had some other goofy things going on with old title jurisdictions right-of-way, PHP alignments and stuff like that. So that was cleaned up. This doesn't accurately reflect the totality. Still waiting. I do have the plat has been recorded, but ultimately we'll see those boundaries cleaned up, which should be helpful to understand what's going on here. But as you can see, the parcel extends to the north here. Nothing's planned. This is, for the most part, was developed, and right through here, this area was developed for drainage. They handle a lot of the roadway drainage that comes through here in that large floodplain that you see. They're starting to channelize that water and concentrate it in the areas that are designed to accept that flow. You can see the large berm. This is an existing garden owned by the CEO of the hospital, Neil Jensen, and his home. And that would be the closest residence. Next to that, this would be, I guess, the second closest residence. It's about 550 feet away from the nearest portion of any of the hospital. Just to have some protection, to know that 65-foot structures couldn't be built closer than the existing buildings on the site, we included a stipulation recommending a condition of approval that it should proposal come forward in the future, requesting a 65-foot height any closer than existing buildings to residential, those residential areas, they would need to amend the site plan, likely come back for amendment to the PAD to expand that. However, as you can see, that's the entrance, newly constructed, parking, which is very convenient right at the entrance, obviously. Wouldn't anticipate anything, but just to, again, make sure that we have some controls on where height of buildings are going to potentially occur in the future. And then that's the new office building. And redeveloping the helipad, moving the helipad first to south of the existing facilities at this location, kind of at the base of these foothills. That does move that helipad further away from the existing residents. Honestly, I wasn't fully aware that was the location of a helipad, or been aware, as I haven't heard complaints or any interest from the public in this area about helicopters flying through here. That's normally how I end up with, some sort of nuisance type of complaint or something like that, but I haven't heard any feedback since that location started being utilized, and now obviously moving behind the hospital, behind this proposed 3-story building, which should definitely provide additional added level of buffering from the existing residential. In looking at the parking calculations for this, the totality of the property of the medical campus, we recognize there is a need for increased parking to meet our minimum parking requirements. So future phase of overflow parking is being contemplated in this area with conversations with BHP. This is BHP land. BHP has donated most of this land to the hospital, with the hospital proper roadway to the hospital and everything. So they've had an ongoing relationship for some time, and that is discussed in one of the other conditions. Very much expanded kind of that understanding of should this building be built, we want to ensure that necessary parking is in place as of the certificate of occupancy being issued for the properties. And again, that's to assure that we don't have parking issues down the road affecting some of the surrounding parcels and lots. So that is the totality of this request. I'll take you through the elevations now. There's another overall site plan. More color. I guess existing parking lot is where they would be locating the and displacing those parking spaces, 21 parking spaces for that heliport or helipad. And there's the overall proposed final design. You see the additional area of the campus to the west there. And our parking calculations been reviewed. And then here's the building elevation, and that would be the front facing north. And again, those are architectural elements and mechanical, roof-mounted mechanical screen equipment would be the view from the east or from walking out of the existing hospital, looking west, and then that's from the south. And that's the west elevation facing that hillside. So the city, all cities are required to hold a neighborhood meeting to discuss rezonings and give the public the opportunity to come out and learn about a project and express any concerns. That meeting was held on November 24th. Typical notification requirements, sending mailers to the residents within 300 feet of the parcel was accomplished. And we had I think you've got a sign-in sheet included with your staff report, Exhibit B. At that meeting, the only concern raised was any construction or height construction up into this area, up into that area that I noted previously here, something closer to the residents. Two things, so we have that condition of approval stipulated on staff's recommendation to ensure anything closer to the residents than existing footprints would require to come back to the city for review. But also, obviously, that's all recently developed for traffic control, so we don't anticipate any future growth there, and nothing's been presented. But that's the only concern that was mentioned. So with that, staff did send you an update. Unfortunately, we wrapped up the staff report while two people were on vacation last week and did not have a complete legal review. So I did get a complete legal review and have some less substantial or significant tweaks to the language that's in staff's recommendation. So staff is recommending approval of this rezone overlay to be placed over the Cooper Valley Regional Medical Center campus parcel with these conditions. Basically, and again, it's to allow that additional height up to 65 feet and the office building as it's elevated in this narrative, the PAD narrative that's included with your report. So you'll just see minor tweaks. I did email this to you. You'll be happy to review. Item number 3 was just we've had similar language in prior projects, so we just wanted to reiterate that same expiration period. So the city started to, and you've seen the last few years, insert expiration should an applicant not pursue or move forward after their hearings or approvals. And so we don't want those lingering approvals out there for 20 years, 25 years. This became a big common procedure for cities after the big downturn and all the master plans throughout the valley and other areas throughout the state. Just ended up getting mothballed and never built, and then came back to fruition, 20, 25 years later, where things have changed so substantially: traffic patterns, growth, city vision, goals, market changes. So we like to make sure that, if something's not going to move forward within a set period of time, here it's stipulated 3 years, that it wouldn't, council would have to reconsider the item and then withdraw it. And in that situation, the applicant, property owner is notified of that and have an opportunity to come out and explain, do they have a change in plans, or are they still moving forward with their plans and so forth, and have that conversation at that time. So that's it. And then again, just some additional minor cleanups as discussed with our city attorney. So with that, staff is recommending approval. Happy to respond to any questions that you have. And again, after our discussion, public hearing will be opened. So I see our applicant or representative with the design firm, Ruth, is on the line as well, if you have any questions for the applicant. Thank you.
Dan, Dana, first I need to say that's the best I've ever heard you over your system there. Can hear you loud and clear for the first time ever. It's awesome. Anybody have any questions or concerns?
Yeah, I have a question. So taking it from 30 feet up to the 60 plus feet, how many offices out of this 83 for the exam rooms and related function rooms is that encompassing? So what is it adding in addition to what would already be there if it was at the standard height that's approved now for the C2 height restrictions?
That one additional floor on the office building, is that your question?
Correct.
And there's slightly taller floors. Today, the size of a building, the floors would be likely 10, 15 feet tall. So in itself, with mechanical on top, would tend to go above 20 feet or 30 feet as well at 2 stories. So here we have, we just have the areas. They're 21,000 square feet per area in terms of office space, if that was your question.
Yeah, forgetting the next level for the flooring of what they're talking about for the next addition to this. So how many offices for what they want to do is that encompassing? I mean, what are they adding in addition to for that height requirement? How many offices are on the top floor?
And so sorry, I was reading by my phone, but, and I'm not sure if Brian Fish is in person there, but, half of the 3rd floor will have an office space, will be like open office area and an IT, space. And I'm not sure, Dana, if on the right it lists, how many exam rooms it is, 14'8" floor to floor. Yeah, if you zoom in there, by chances that have.
It's hard to answer that question exactly.
I am just saying, let's see here, maybe it's part of the patient square foot number.
Hey, Dana. We actually have Brian Fish with us and he's ready to speak. Is that okay?
Go ahead, please.
So it's hard to put a number to that because half of the upper floor is office versus business office versus medical office. So all the exam rooms are separated out on the 1st floor and the 2nd floor and half of the 3rd floor, and the other half of the 3rd floor is planned to be business office. So I'm not quite sure exactly how to answer your question.
So with what we currently have for occupancy over there with the guards to the doctor's offices that are over there, and I'm supposed to be going through you. I don't know. Okay. So the benefit, I understand that we can use something larger and have more offices and have potentially more doctors and stuff like that. Is that what the plan is on those floors to add that extra height? Is that it's not what we currently have, but that we're planning on bringing in new specialists, new servicing for equipment that can be used for patients? I mean, or is it just that we have an open space that IT can hang out in, I guess is kind of what I'm asking.
Yeah, Madam Commissioner and members of the commission. Great question. So what it does is it moves our business office, our medical records department, our IT departments, and all to the 2nd floor. And by doing that, it lets us then go to the central corridor of the hospital, which is currently significantly crowded, and remodel our radiology department, our lab, and our patient care areas. And so basically we're just pulling those services out. And so half of that 2nd floor really takes those business functions out of our most expensive square footage and opens it up for improved patient care. The additional clinic space that it adds is we have 10 new providers coming on. Actually 4 new providers right now, and by next year, in the middle of the summer, we'll have 10. We have no space for those providers. And so we're scrambling just to figure out how to meet that need of coverage right away, but it will allow us to bring those 10 additional providers into one location. So all clinic services, all specialists at the hospital that are hospital owned and will now be consolidated into this one building. Other practices on the clinic and on the facility or campus will continue. Oncology will move up into our family practice building, which is a private practice with Dr. Mayman. And then Dr. Layton will move over where Dr. Gustafson used to be in that other medical office building, and that will be his office. So basically just a big shakeup, but all our clinics will consolidate with the exception of the walk-in clinic, which Planning and Zoning heard about 2 months ago, out on the highway.
Right. Okay, thank you.
Could you also, I think for the record, could you just state your name
Yeah,
at this point?
I'm Neil Jensen, I'm the CEO of the hospital.
Perfect, thank
I
you.
am sorry.
Appreciate it, Mr. Jensen. Just for the record, it's nice to have the names on there. Thank you. So I have a couple of very small logistical questions. Before I ask them, I just want to say that I'm really excited to see this. I love that we have such a beautiful facility in our town, that we have these resources. I love that we're investing in this, and I'm very glad to see the growth. I'm glad to hear that we have 10 new providers, more services. I love that you're consolidating your business groups. It makes it easier for them to collaborate and do what they need to do. Super smart. Very glad to see this growth. And as usual, we just want to make sure that the growth is done in the right way. So but very supportive of that. This is more a couple of questions for Dana and the city. I don't have any more questions for the applicant. You're welcome to stay there or sit down if you like, whatever's comfortable for you, sir. Sirs. Dana, you mentioned that the actual motion language or the recommendation language had changed slightly after legal review. Were those edits reviewed and agreed upon by the applicant?
And Mr. Jensen
nodding,
received
so good,
the
yep.
same information, so sorry.
Good. Okay, just making sure, that's all. I know if they come in at the last hour, we just want to make sure we're all on the same page. And then this is more for the city. And I guess it's more of a clarification question. When I was reading the packet, we're not going for 65 feet now. What we're doing is we're putting the language in here to go for 65 feet in the future. Is that right? Or are we going for 65 feet with this build right here? I don't think we are.
Correct.
Yeah,
This build
okay.
is the same as the elevation, so it's stipulated to match the elevation.
That's fine.
In your packet.
Perfect. Then this won't be really like a question that has to be answered today, but Dana, if you could take this back to the city, we as a city need to be prepared to service that 65-foot building, which means I'm going to be asking about fire, I'm going to be asking about infrastructure, different things like that we as a city would need to be prepared. What does servicing a 65-foot building look like?
The fire truck's on order.
What?
Literally.
Is that
Yeah.
nice? Okay.
Remember, we had that conversation about the
I do.
thing out there, and that was one of the major
Yes.
concerns that we had. Is
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I
fire
just didn't know what the timeline was.
Yeah,
So
it's on order, and I know that they just got another donation, I believe, from Freeport to go
damn, they're
toward it
making
and
me look
everything,
bad.
so,
All right.
yeah,
Yeah.
so.
Okay.
Well, and water
That's.
usage,
in the
increase of water usage,
Yes.
the pipes that are gonna have to be there, what are we
Yes.
gonna furnish, the cost, what is City of Globe contributing, if anything, to that?
Yeah.
But I didn't figure those were questions we were gonna have.
Nope, but, and again, that was why I just wanted to make sure that we are planning ahead for that so that it's not
Absolutely.
a surprise in the, future when they want to actually proceed with this. We want to be starting to do that work now as a city. Those are my two questions and my comment. Thank you.
Cool. Do you have anything else, Deb?
Oh, ma'am.
Nothing? Okay, well then I believe it would be time to open the public hearing. So let's do that. Do we have anybody here that wishes to speak? Do we have any text, any phone calls, anything?
No, Madam Chair.
So is it really that fast? Okay, closed.
That doesn't happen very often.
No, that does not happen very often. I'm gonna go have a beer.
Oh, there, good, he brought the language up.
All right, with that then, do we have any further discussion? Do I have a motion?
I motion to approve case Z-25-01 to apply a planned area development overlay zoning district subject to the conditions as edited and seen on the screen here. Is that good enough, Shelley?
Yes.
Perfect.
that work? Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion approved. Right on. I might have 2 beers. Do we have any future agenda items?
The third beer.
Shelley, do we have anything else going? Dana, we got anything coming at us?
We've got some things brewing that didn't move forward. Your text amendment should be coming forward here, I think by, meetings could be held closer to Christmas or right after the new year.
Okay, and that's for the paving, the parking lot business?
Correct, and home occupation.
Okay, on the home occupation, that's right.
And a couple other applications that we're waiting just for responses from applicants to make sure we've got
Awesome.
clear proposals to bring forward. That's it right now.
Okay, I'm gonna be,
Oh.
I will be gone for a couple weeks in January, so just to throw that out there. I don't have my exact dates yet, but it'll be somewhere around the 6th through the 20th or thereabouts. Just so you know, yeah, I'm running away from home. Very good. If there's nothing else, do I have a motion?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
I'll get a motion in a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Meeting is closed.
I was wondering why I had a text message from Shelley going, "Are you coming tonight?"